Yo, what is up guys?
Rising Effects here.
And in this video, I'm going to be telling you how to counter every character here inside of Multiversus. Just to clarify, I'll be going over the characters that are the most annoying to come up against to save you all the time. Let me know in the comments if you guys would like a part 2 for this, and which character you hate playing the most. For me, it's got to be Superman or Jake. Let's aim to reach 50 likes on this video. Let's go. First on the list is Superman. You want to avoid close fighting combat with Superman because 99 out of 100 times he will grab onto you and chuck you off the edge. This has to be one of the most annoying characters to come up against, and you could still have good health but get eliminated so easily. Luckily, once he is in the flying animation, he becomes very vulnerable as you can see him flying from a mile away. Simply dodge, jump over him, and he can't then react in time as he's still going to be in the flying animation, and obviously he can't do a 180 on you and turn and hit you, so don't fight near him on the edge of the map. That includes the sides or at the top or the bottom, as he will grab onto you and throw you off. So it is broken and overpowered, and I'm sure it will get nerfed very soon for season 1 of Multiversus. But that said, you can still avoid it really easily, and aside from that, he's really not that strong. Most games you will find he does have the lowest amount of damage in comparison to the other characters because his character abilities generally aren't that strong other than his grab and throw ability. But on top of that, Superman is also a bulky character, so he's definitely a lot slower than most of the other characters on this list. Superman has another ability though where he charges up a punch from miles away, but if you actually run towards it, most of the time you will end up dodging it since his aim is to go as far as possible with this punch. So by doing the largest amount of damage to your opponent, obviously if you spam dodge in front of him and right at him, he will swing right through you instead of at you. Next, we have Iron Giant. Iron Giant is very similar to Superman when it comes to close range combat and general impact damage. Players who use Iron Giant tend to capitalize on the nuts and bolt ability and flying down from up in the air. However, Iron Giant wins most of his close range fights because his powers overrule other characters close up, as he is very strong since he is so huge. To counter Iron Giant, I'd recommend dodging his attacks and simply going above him and hitting him down as he deflects off the ground and walls. It's definitely not easy to beat Iron Giant, especially if he has a good support teammate. He is a pain to play against, but he is also not too difficult to beat. Just don't fight him while he is charging up and aim to keep away and up in the air, as his weakness is mid-air fight. So since his recovery is so bad, you'll be able to find a combo that sends him up constantly. Definitely play aggressive on him once he is in the air, but that's it for Iron Giant. Bugs Bunny is arguably the best and most overpowered character in the game. I know a lot of you guys out there use him. I personally use him as well. All of the time I do use him, so I do find it difficult to pinpoint his weaknesses. However, I would say all of his abilities are aggressive, so that makes his defense very vulnerable and susceptible to be eliminated once he has used his rocket and crate and his other abilities. I would recommend playing patient against Bugs Bunny. People seem to forget you can land on his rocket ability and use it to your advantage by jumping on it and obviously attacking Bugs Bunny afterwards. So don't try and avoid his rockets all the time at all costs, because sometimes it could help you get your edge on him and end up killing him because he doesn't expect it. Generally, when I use him, I do see people that are better than me play off my mistakes. I have noticed that some of his combat attacks are quite slow, so if he misses an attack, you can capitalize on this and then, you know, counter him and attack him. Even though he is a cooldown character, you want to let him do his thing and attack, and when he hasn't got his powers, then attack him when he least expect it. Jake is next on the list. Firstly, I would like to say Jake is broken and far too overpowered. He needs a nerf as soon as possible. His zoning abilities are the best in the game, and he hasn't got cooldowns for the most annoying abilities. His boat, his horse transformation. Jake can keep you away from him very easily, so the more you are in his face, the harder it is for him, you know, to get away and use his very irritating abilities. So I'd advise to not take any fights in the air. His primary abilities, the side air attack and his skateboard ability, are used in the air, which are definitely his strongest abilities, so do avoid air combats with Jake at all costs. Finally, I'd say don't tunnel vision Jake on the edge to go for a kill. What I mean by this is that it's very easy to see him on the edge and think, you know what, I'm gonna go for the elimination, but Jake's recovery is very strong and outstanding, so you will get punished for this later on. Play for the one-hit combos where it gets hit hard and then, you know, he will get eliminated rather than going for combos. Finn is another overpowered character that I find myself himself struggling to beat a lot of the time. It's not even a skill issue. His ability to teleport is almost always used once he uses his gem after a close-up range fight. So in order to avoid this, walk into his attack after he uses his gem and he will end up teleporting into your attack. You can break his attack whilst he is teleporting due to that small noticeable period where he is teleporting. So don't be scared of his gem ability, just go up to him and attack, as it is an unexpected counter that will confuse him and the player behind the screen. I would also recommend avoiding close range fights with Finn. His attack recovery is one of the fastest in game. Finn can just spam his light attack and never be punished. Even if you dodge his first couple attacks, he can just attack you again and again. So try to play the medium long range against Finn, but also aim to play ground fights, since you know that annoying powerful ability he has, the backpack spin. If you were never above him or falling into him, you won't ever have to worry about the backpack spin. Next on the list is Shaggy. The first tip I have for you guys to counter Shaggy's attacks is to play against him close up. All of his abilities are either long range or medium range. His flying kick from meters away can be very effective yet very avoidable. This won't be a problem if you fight him from close range. Shaggy also has that Super Saiyan charge up ability. His charging up ability is his strongest ability, but it also leaves him midair for around 3 to 5 seconds, which is a long time. So that's your chance to hit him off the map and eliminate him. Sticking to him like glue not only helps long distance kicks be avoided, but it also stops him from charging up and becoming stronger. However, his charge ability is also a way to distract you, so do watch out for this, because it is a way for him to distract you and then use his kick ability, which could be quite bait a lot of the time, but you know, it is also unexpected to some players too. Attacking Shaggy in the air is the best way to eliminate him, since most of his abilities come to play on the ground. So I've noticed his combos are non-existent in the air, so more likely than not you'll find him weak in the air over the ground. Finally, let's talk about Velma, a character that a lot of people complain about. Velma's speech bubbles that home in on you are very irritating, but what you don't realize is you have to be hit by the first targeting debuff. So the targeting debuff is from Velma. Basically the megaphone ability, which is easy to dodge surprisingly. She has another projectile which again is easy to dodge. When she is using the megaphone, you'll see when it's charged up and you will see it coming from a mile away and you'll know exactly when to dodge. But Velma is the support character, so she will prioritize being patient and allowing the first enemy to make the first move. What most people aren't aware of is that she is prone to close range attacks and her health bar is definitely not as strong as the other characters I've talked about in this video. In team mode games, rather than allowing Velma to sit back and attack from afar, make sure you are in her face, as she isn't a close range combated character. Don't be too aggressive, because this could punish you, but also don't play too slow, as you are giving her so much time to reach her cooldowns, which is of course the megaphones and are the projectiles. But Velma is a slow build up character that is very patient. If you end up running at her, you'll end up doing a lot more damage than she can anticipate. I'd like to finally say that when the cop card does arrive, you want to run away for as long as possible while your teammate tries to break it. But if this is not the case and you are playing solos, just simply run away from it, because once you get picked up in the car, it is over. So make sure you can't let it get to you. That is how to counter characters in Multiversus. Let me know if you would like a part 2 and which character you personally find the most annoying to come up against. I hate coming up against Superman and Jake, but I have actually created a new Discord for people interested in having conversations about the game, about Multiversus, and I now live stream loads over on Twitch. All links to my social medias are in the description down below. So everyone new here, feel free to subscribe for more awesome Multiversus videos where I update you with tips and the latest news within the game. That's everything for now, guys. Peace out.